Hey there, so right now I'd like to show you the ESR points, the emotional stress release points that I've mentioned in the recording. So essentially these are great points to be holding anytime that you're overcome emotionally, or you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, or if at any point during this program there are certain fears that are quite debilitating for you. So when you're holding these points, which I'll show you in a minute, essentially what you're doing is drawing the blood flow from the back of your brain to the front of your brain. So at the back of the brain, that's where a lot of your emotional processing centers are, and the front of the brain is where your logic and reasoning processing centers are. So when you're in an overwhelmed, overly emotional state, a lot of the blood flow is actually at the back of your brain, so you're wanting to draw it forward to balance out the logic and the emotion. So where these ESR points are is essentially right here. So for you, what you're wanting to do to find these points is just run your fingers from the center of your eyebrows to about their midpoint, and then you're just taking your fingers up about an inch or so, and you'll feel a very soft dip in the front of your forehead. So for some of you it might actually be more obvious than others, because our cranial bones are different for each of us. And it might take a little while to actually find these points, but once you have a bit of a play around and you start to get to know what your forehead looks like, you'll be able to find them really easily and simply. If you do get stuck, or what you can do is just place the whole front of your hand, or the back of your hand, over on your forehead. So the whole point is here so that the blood flow from the emotional centers of the brain is actually drawn forward to the front of your brain. So your body responds really beautifully and well to touch. And so either whole palm over the front of your forehead, or going directly to those 2 points until you actually start to feel a pulse. And then you actually know that these points are activated, and you can either drop your hands away, or so that's one indication, that pulse, or you'll actually notice physiologically that you're starting to calm down, you're starting to feel a bit more clear-headed, starting to feel a bit more balanced, and then you're right to take your fingers away, or the palm of your hand away. The other beautiful thing to do while you're holding these ESR points is to use particular affirmations that you like, that feel good for you. Or you can breathe. So breathing is a beautiful way of calming down your nervous system, calming down emotions, and bringing yourself back into balance.